If you're looking for a way to benchmark multiple language models, whether you're large or small, whether you want to do it locally on cloud without necessarily keep changing your code for each single model that you call? If yes, then Nvidia NIM integrated with wrapped langchain solution for Nvidia NIM AI endpoints will be the solution for you. Then, let's go! Before we start, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you will get notified for the next video. Thank you. Okay, here it is. Nvidia NIM, or NIM stands for Nvidia Inference Microservice. So what they have provided, which is a hub for a lot of language models, vision models, a lot of even multimodal models that you can select from there. You can either deploy them locally in your own environment or call them through API. So if you click on try now, you will get into this portal that you have, which is like a dashboard for your lots of different models, a huge selection of models that you can have from here, whether you want to go for reasoning, vision, visual design, retrieval, speech, biology, simulation, and even for a specific industry. So which is great. Any all those models that you have heard, like for example, if I just select llama, you will see a variety of different llama models, Mistral models, or even 5, which is a small language model released by open source by Microsoft. It's also available. So you can have all this selection of some models, but in order to utilize them, you have to first log in. In order to log in, you can have your personal email. But with personal email, you will have 1,000 APIs, and each credit of that API stands for just one call. So you can have that limit for calling any model that you have here, or again, self-hosted them through NIMs on your own infrastructure. So technically, any model comes with a Docker image. If they support this option, you can just pull that Docker image locally and deploy that model that you want without dealing with headaches of any specific configurations, because all these Docker images are ready for you, which I'm going to show you that shortly. But if you go with a business email, there are some changes. Your free credits for API call going to be slightly higher, not slightly, well, 5 times more. And they have enterprise grade support also as well, and you have security and vulnerability reports added based on that. So I have already created with my, I think, both personal and business email. So let me log in first. All right, I just entered my email and I logged in, so I can also now start to explore and check all these models. For example, let's say I'm interested for Meta. I click on it. Here you can see that I have access to first a code example of how to call these models. The good news is, in order to call these models, you don't need to necessarily change your Python code again and again and again. They have integrated with LangChain. Most of the models is integrated with LangChain. That means the Python code that you will call this llama model is the same if you call, let's say, Mixtral model, which I'm going to show you. The only thing that you need to change is just changing this model name with Mixtral or whatever model that you want to call. The rest is exactly the same. Let's say if I'm going to call this question, not only you are trying this model on fly with this UI, but also you can call this model through installing that in LangChain that I'm going to show you how. And here's the response back. Now, this is again for running it local on calling through API or UI. If you want to build that locally with clicking on build with this name, here it is giving me my API key that I can copy that and use that for API call. For self-hosted, one is not supported actually. Some of them will come with the Docker image. So let me show you an example here. If I click on back, you will see that, for example, Mistral says run anywhere. If I click on it, you will see that again the code for LangChain is the same like how it was for Llama. The only thing got changed was model. That means with just one code you can quickly switch with different LLMs and call them and test them, and you have some free credits here, so you can benchmark these models with just 10 lines of code. Benchmark, let's say, 10 different models, which is amazing. And now this time if I click on build with this name and click on self-hosted, it is simply giving me how I need to install that locally through Docker. So it's telling me click on Docker tab, which is here, and there you go. I have the Docker configuration and guideline to have this model locally running on any server with the port forwarding that I specify to run Mixtral model. So let me show you an example. Make sure you know how to integrate this LangChain code, because that was a very couple of days recent announcement that LangChain also supported these Nvidia AI inputs through this wrapped solution. So let me show you how that works. So first you need to install this LangChain AI endpoints, and let me show you how to do that in Google Colab. Alright, here it is. So the only thing that you need to install is upgrading langchain-nvidia AI endpoints. As soon as you have that installed in any Python environment, you're ready to go. You just need this simple code snippet to call it again and again for different models. The only thing that you need to add is first to make sure you have your your Nvidia NIM API key added here. So I added that, I ran this, then I removed all for recording the video. And the name of the model, here I'm calling Mixtral from Mixtral, and the same question, which is writing a limerick about the wonders of GPU computing. And here's the answer. You can see that I copy paste almost the same code. I started to make some changes, for example in top here, stop making sure these are working. But again, the code is exactly the same. The only thing I changed was changing this Mistral to Meta. And here's the answer. The same thing, the same code, I changed Meta to Microsoft Y3 Mini 128K instruct model. And here's the answer. And as you can see, the answers are slightly different because I'm changing the model. So think about how you can run this for evaluation. If you have a use case, you're not sure which model is the best, but you have some labeled data to evaluate which model is better for your responses, you can use these even free credits that you have with API calls to, let's say, benchmark tens of different models and come up with an initial estimation of which approach or which model sizes are the way to go. And even not just all these models developed by Nvidia like Nemotron, you can have that tested. Again, the exact same code from langchain-nvidia-ai endpoints. I got this one a more extended answer with different max token, actually the same with others. And lastly, with Google, I can also have their model, again the same code. I executed that, the same question, and I got the response back. So that was all about this Nvidia NIM, but again, not just Nvidia NIM. With the LangChain wrapped API AI endpoints that I just talked about it, you can have much more efficient way of coding to call all different models without you necessarily changing the codes of how you call these models. With just one simple code and changing the model, you can have your LLM call executed. Again, as I talked about it, the only way that you can have these LangChain AI endpoints for Nvidia NIM installed is just having LangChain NVIDIA AI endpoints with pip install. And here also LangChain provided some code examples at how we can call this for different models, which we just went through that as an example on my Google Colab. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful. If yes, I would be very thankful if you click on like icon, and of course make sure you share your thoughts, questions on comment section. Thank you.